Okay, Mark, since you took the job, this is by far the biggest story from a driver's perspective and from a worldwide perspective. How tough was it to keep it a secret?
Well, it is a big story, and there were, it was going on and being pulled together all over the world, in Asia, in Europe, and here, and in California, and so it was very tough. And I have to say that there were some enterprising journalists, like folks at Racer, who have done an incredible job in covering this story this morning, that probably had some inkling about it, and waited until they could really get all the facts together to do the right job journalistically, and we're very grateful for that and the coverage that's ensued since. But it was a real concern because there were, who knows who didn't want to see it happen, and had it gotten out there and there were kind of public speculation about it, it could have come apart. So that was an important component of it.
When we first talked about it on the weekend, you said, hey, this thing is far from done. This could be pretty tenuous. So it all came together in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I would say 2 weeks. I mean, not including whatever the start date was when Alonso said, someday I want to do it. Yeah, and over the weekend, it was not done. We were still talking with Stefan, and we needed to be not just respectful, but work with his sponsors to make sure they got more value than they were bargaining for had he been in the car in 17, make sure he was protected and would be in a car in 18. And those are just some of the things that were still very much ongoing. We've had great discussions, long work with teams of people Monday and Tuesday of this week, still trying to get it all papered. So it was complicated, but everybody pulled together.
Do you foresee Alonso having his own practice day here, and it will be open to the media and or the public, or is that too early to talk about?
Well, if I were them, I'd want to have a practice day here and get every hour I could on track before then, and certainly if that's feasible for them, and within the rules, which I'm sure there is a way to do, then we would want to accommodate that. But it's too early to say exactly when that might happen and exactly what the implications would be. From my perspective, if he's doing it, boy, would we like it to be public. I mean, his first minutes on this track would be big news all over the world.
Nigel Mansell had like 90 journalists from 9 countries show up at his first day at Phoenix, and he welcomed it.
Yeah, well, I don't know if there are any commercial complications, but I believe it's likely that there'll be a private test for him before we really open the doors in May, and I hope that we can welcome everybody.
Mark, any kind of a backup plan driver-wise in case he doesn't like it? I mean, there have been some great Formula One drivers come here before, and they were like, we don't like the walls, we don't like the speed, thanks anyway. Do you have a guy in mind that maybe could take his place if a backup plan at all?
We haven't had any discussion about that, but I know this guy named Stefan Wilson who's around, and I'm sure he'd jump in if that was an opportunity. Hopefully that won't be the case, with all due respect to Stefan, and the story will go right up to the checker.
Since Mansell, this is probably the biggest name driver story that's happened in 25 years, and I think the press room is going to be pretty full this May.
Yeah, from my perspective, IndyCar racing and this place, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, deserve this kind of exposure around the world. And I'm just couldn't be more delighted that it came together, and we're going to have that shot this time. And I think these things all build. So he's made it clear he's going back to Formula One. He'll race in Montreal right after Indianapolis, and that's cool. But I'd be surprised if he's not getting messages from other Formula One drivers right now telling him that that's ballsy and it's cool, and who knows what the fallout will be in a positive way over time.
All right, thanks. We'll see you at the private test. Oh, no, we don't know that yet.